Good morning, everyone. Happy day. Happy day. I say happy day because I want to say happy day, like the actual day it is, but then you could be watching on different days, and then people are like, that's not the right day. So, anyway, that doesn't always come out exactly how I want. I can't figure this out. Not that it's all that interesting to you guys, but when I go, when I log in, when I log in through our software, when I log into our other group, it logs in under myself. But when I log into this group, it logs in under Dorothy, which is so odd. I'm not quite sure how to fix that. And then because Dorothy doesn't post that much on this page under her account, not as many people are notified when she goes live, when I go live on her account. Otherwise, I'd go live on my account. It's terribly frustrating. Technology. My struggles with technology. How we doing out there? Let me know in the comments how your week went. It's always nice to know who's in here, who's hanging out, who's stopping in short term. I think sometimes people pop in and they watch for a few minutes, then they leave, and they're like, oh, I don't want anyone to know I'm in here watching. You can say hi real quick and bounce out if you want. Whatever works for you. Today we're going to talk about holiday stress. Holiday stress. What stresses you out the most? Let me know in the comments. What stresses you out the most during the holiday season? Because it's here. The stress is here. The food. The parties. I just talked to one of my clients yesterday, and she was like, can you help me come up with a plan? Because from now till the new year, we have plans every weekend. And I'm like, that's why you have a coach. Let's talk about it. So we came up with a plan, and we came up with a plan for her, and she's all set and ready to go. Confident. That's number one. You gotta be confident going into the holiday season. You gotta have some momentum. You have to have some support. Like, these are all super important for you to see success. And most people are so drained when it comes to January. I probably talked to a half a dozen people that are like, hey, I'm really interested in your MAP program, but I want to start in January. And I'm like, no. That's the worst time to start. It's the worst time to start a program. You see a bunch of people rush to the gym, so the gym is more packed and more busy, and you're kind of new, and you're like not really sure of yourself. You don't have the confidence, and you probably don't have a friend or a trainer to help you out, so you're kind of wandering around a gym by yourself, having no idea what you're doing. You got new gym clothes for Christmas, maybe new shoes, and you're like, what am I doing with myself? So, and it's like, why would you start at the busiest time of year? And that's the same thing with, we're financially drained, we're emotionally drained, we've been traveling around, staying up late, maybe living slightly different than we usually do, with more appetizers, more alcoholic beverages, more travel. And it's like, I'm gonna start a program then. It's like, if I could think of something that would set you up in the least the least accurate way to set you up for success would be start in January. So, like, what you need is, you need some help now. And that's why you're here. So I appreciate you guys jumping in here and listening, because the holidays aren't coming, they're here, and we're still 4 weeks away, but you got to put in as much time and effort in now, so you build up strength and momentum as you get closer. And we'll talk about that today. I got my 3 stressors: food, family, and finances. That's what we're going to talk about today. Who do we got coming in here? You know what? I'm going to try to read. I'm going to read from the screen today. And you know what? I could even drag comments on. Except it says user. Had a late night, so tired today. Who said that? What's going on, Shelly? Why did you have a late night? And who we have about 3 times workouts. Rhonda says, well, I did work out 3 times this week. I'm trying to do it every day. This, well, the stress is to eat too much in treats. Yes, that's definitely a stressor. Eating too much in treats. We're going to talk about that today. Thank you for sharing. Vanda says, hello, happy November. Sandra's in here. And Shelly already said she's, we have a bunch of people, more people in here, but you guys, you're welcome to say hi. Let us know what stresses you out. If you want to sit back quietly, that's perfectly okay. I love for these shows to be interactive and going back and forth a little bit. What do you guys want to talk about first? Food, family, or finances? I kind of want to talk about, went to the Flames game. Oh yeah, that's definitely, the Flames game is a tough one. Like, or those events. This doesn't sound very good to support our local hometown. But we spend a lot of time in LA, and I go to more Dodger games or Kings games than I do Flames games. But you know what? Like, Flames games are crazy. How much was your ticket, Shelly? You mind me asking? Flames games are so expensive. I bought my brother tickets for, we went to a hockey game. I think it was like $500, and we didn't have like great seats for like you go down there, you got parking, you got food, you get tickets, and I'm like, who can afford this? But we went to like Dodger games or $50 maybe, like depending on where you want to sit. Then you could look at like Kings games. We had box seats for like $17 or $27, something like that. And you go to a Flames game, it's like $200, and I'm like, no thanks. Free, someone gave them to us, awesome. But they wasn't free, right? And you're also paying. You didn't just pay for it last night. You're paying for it today, right? Because you're tired and you spent late night. But that's the thing, is at least for us that are in this community, it takes us about an hour to get in there, an hour back. So you have to tack that on to 2 hours of game. At any rate, I'm happy you got a chance to go, Shelly. I wish it was a bit more convenient for us to go. I think I'd go a bit more. If it was closer and it wasn't so expensive, I'd probably go a bit more. Not that I'm a huge Flames like hockey fan anyways, but I grew up as a Flames fan. Deanne says, good morning on December. It's a new month. That's right. New month, new motivation, inspiration. Let's go. And that's what I want to talk about. Deanne's always upbeat and positive from at least when I'm around. Is that true? Your kids might say something different. I wanted to mention the mindset. Like you have like a certain mindset, right? Like, do you have a positive mindset going into the season? Like, I can handle this stress, or I'm not going to be stressed out, right? That's super important to have that mindset. Like, hey, it's a new month. It's going to be a great month. Let's get after it and let's make things happen. And that's why you need to be around supportive people. Like all these. This is funny. We have, most of you guys are in our MAP program. We have Deanne and Sandra and Shelly in our MAP program. So that's the positivity we bring inside our private group. At any rate, okay. I don't think anyone answered if I said finances, family, or food. So let's start off with finances. Dorothy and I had this conversation this morning. And you know what the thing is like when it comes to finances in particular, when you have childhood memories of what Christmas or the holiday season was, at least from anyone I talk to about it, it's memories of experiences, right? It's hanging out with family, it's baking cookies, it's going to see lights. It's an experience. And I feel like that is so underrated these days because it's like, it's the consumerism, right? It's all the sales on Amazon or the Black Friday deals or at Best Buy or wherever it is, right? Like probably a bunch of people are going to Walmart or Target, like wherever you're watching in different areas. And it's just constant, like in your face. So you're like, oh, maybe I should buy that, or everyone's buying that, I should buy that. But if you were to just focus on the holiday season and experiences and push the consumerism, the products, the sales to the side, and think about what would really give you value in your life or your season, it's experiences. Like we went with some friends last night to the lights around here. You could drive around this area, like, and then afterwards there was this little building and they had the Grinch there, and like it was so cool. I'm a holiday fan, not consumerism. I like the joy and the music and the togetherness. And I think that's something that we're going to remember. And it wasn't a long time. It wasn't like a 3-day weekend. It wasn't even a 2-hour trip. It was a very short. It was like an hour to do everything. And we had hot chocolate in the car, and then our little man was like not really sure of the Grinch. Like as a guy dressed up as the Grinch, and he talked like the Grinch. It was just a cool experience, and I think like, okay, you could have that experience that you'll remember probably forever or for a very long time, or it's going to be your conversation is going to be different on presents. Like, what are you buying? How much are you spending? How much can we afford, etc., right? And then that's where that stress comes in, that holiday stress of like, oh my gosh, we get hit really hard when it comes to January, and everyone thinks like, oh, it's such a busy time in January, where usually people are so financially drained, they're looking for the cheapest avenue to improve their health, which is usually the gym, right? And I don't always want to sound like I'm picking on the gym, but it's just the lowest level of any type of fitness you can purchase other than free, like YouTube or free Netflix from that's part of your package now, right? If you're on that, I don't even have that. But I think that's important to understand is that it's about experiences now during the holiday season, not about the biggest, most expensive presents. Morning, Sue. So to take that a step further, here's what we do. And it was like we were in a similar situation to a lot of people. It's like, oh my gosh, the holiday season is coming up, and our finances go through the roof. Our finances, our bills increase drastically because there's a lot of people that you want to buy presents for. And so what we started doing is we started budgeting throughout the year. So we decided, and this unfortunately might be a bit too late for you now, but for the future, this is what we decided to do. We said, oh my gosh, like it's so financially stressful because it was like every December our bills went through the roof because of whatever we were buying. And I think we had a different mindset then as well. It was like, oh, we have to spend a lot of money on everyone, and it takes away from the holiday season. And we started to change our mindset, and we said, you know what, this is a reasonable amount of money to spend over the holiday season. This is what we can afford, and push all that other stuff to the side. Let's do more experiences. Let's hang out with more friends and family. Let's make food together or bring food, whatever it is. Like, those experiences will last forever. A present that you purchased won't. So what we decided to do is we looked back over a couple Decembers of what the increase of bills were, and we started to we put a better but I don't like the word budget. I don't like budgeting, but we do look after our finances quite closely, and we started to put restrictions around spending, and like, this is a reasonable increase for the month of December. And what we started to do is save each month. So when income comes in, we take a percentage of that and put it into our Christmas fund, our Christmas present fund for presents. And now for the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, maybe a bit longer, doesn't matter. Now it's not stressful when the holidays come because this is how much money we've put aside, and we've already decided who gets presents. It's not like everyone comes our way gets a gift. It's like, these are the people that get a gift, and then that's like, and I'm hoping this is helpful for you. So you decide in advance. It's like when you go to a restaurant, right? Like when we go to a restaurant, this is one of my favorite tips. You go to a restaurant and you decide before you go. We almost always look at a menu, and if we don't know the place, we look at a menu online. And if we do know the place, we still decide before we go. Like if we've been there before, like, hey, what do you want? Let's decide now, because when you get there, you're probably hungry, you got big eyes, and you want everything on the menu. So they put those big, giant, beautiful pictures there for a reason, so you pick them. They're often the most expensive as well, right? So you decide before you go. It's the same thing when we come into the holiday season. Like, you should know who you're buying presents for from the jump, and then from there you should know how much you're spending before you go in, and that's what you budget for the year. And then that is in a part of your bank account, and you take it out like separate from your checking account, savings account, just a Christmas account, and you're spending your money. Once that's gone, it's gone. You don't buy anything else. I know that's challenging for a lot of people. I am not a financial advisor. I don't feel like I'm not trying to give you financial tips. I'm just trying to give you some ideas of what you could be doing to help you reduce stress, because finances is one of the three pillars that stresses us out and ruins our entire season. So let me know if that hits home for anyone, or if anyone else is a budgeter as well. Rhonda says, yep, I do that for the bigger expenses, but that is a good idea too, for Christmas too. Yeah. Thanks, Rhonda. And that'll save so much time and effort throughout the year, like trying to figure out, and then you're not financially drained when it comes to January. Like most people, January comes and they're just financially and emotionally spent, or emotionally spent because they're financially spent, and then it's going to take them a couple months to build themselves back up. And it's not fun for anyone, is it? Morning, Mom. Okay, I think we got a pretty good grasp of that. Any questions about finance? Ask your financial advisor. I'm just kidding. If I can help out, let me know. But I'm not here to give you financial advice. I just wanted to tie in what we do, and then how that can help reduce your stress. On my board next, we have family and food. So finances, family, food. I think family's a relatively easy one. It could be the most challenging if you allow it. So here's the thing, is that we're going to, thanks Sandra. Sandra says, great suggestion. And Shelly says, I buy gifts throughout the year. That's awesome, Shelly. That's a great idea. We've done that in the past too. I don't know if we still do that. To be quite honest with you, Dorothy handles a lot of the Christmas end of things. She's really good at it. And she likes doing it for the most part. And I'm super grateful. So I think sometimes we'll grab something if it's not quite, certainly for birthdays and stuff, especially if we're shipping stuff to the East Coast to her family. I think we actually just sent a Christmas gift and a birthday gift for one of because of shipping, right, for one of her nephews. Melinda says, I put away each month as well for quite a few years, and it helps tremendously. Almost done shopping myself already. A couple more things. Going to enjoy festivities, friends, family, markets. That's awesome. Good for you, Melinda. That's so nice to hear. So nice to hear that you guys are planning and forward thinking. And I mean, there's those things that come up, like, oh, I'm gonna go buy that. Like, there's a guy sitting, the Grinch, right? He's sitting there, and he had his little tip cup. And I was like, it was a bit cold, and I was like, I don't know. I don't think most people would tip. And I'm not like a huge tipper. I don't tip just to tip. But I thought he did a good job. And I wanted to give him some little extra. So I grabbed his little tip jar, and I stuffed a little $5 bill in there. Like, it's not going to change his life. But, and that wasn't budgeted for, right? And that's like what I'm getting at for the markets. Like, you might go to markets and spend a little bit extra here and there, but at least if you have a structure and you know, like, roughly what you're doing, then it's not like, oh my gosh, like, I'm $1,000 in the hole, or 200, or 10,000, whatever it is, right? Like, sometimes people go a little bit overboard. And I think you also get into like, you should do what's best for you, right? Like, it's really challenging because if someone buys you a lot of things or a big thing, then you feel like you need to reciprocate, but you don't know the situation that person is in. Like, they may be more financially well off, or they may have budgeted for more for that part of the year. So I think we get into some trouble when we, like, try to keep up with the Joneses, or we try to put a financial, like, you put a financial number on, okay, we got to spend this much on that person, right? I just think that really causes extra stress in your life, instead of being like, this is what we're going to do, we're going to be okay with it, and then let's look at extra experiences in replacement for actual physical gifts. I really hope that our little guy, like, I hope that we can set a good enough example around the holidays that it's not about gifts or presents. I do, like, I really do. I hope that he looks at more experiences, and, like, getting a Christmas tree, or chopping our own one down, or hot chocolate around the Christmas tree, like, whatever it is. I really hope that we do a well enough job that it's not like, where are my presents? I didn't get enough presents. How many presents do I get this year? Like that is so far from where we hope we can set an example. But I mean that also comes with friends and family and how spoiled he gets, and we're super grateful for all the gifts that he gets. He just has so much. Like he's a little monster filled with so much abundance, and I'm so grateful for that. But I feel like the message is very important, especially at that young age, to share as they get older. What are their expectations, right? Because if it's all about presents, then you're always going to have to buy more presents or bigger presents, and then the whole season is just about presents, and then his whole childhood is about presents, right? Instead of being like, we're going to spend time with family more than usual at this time of year. We're going to listen to Christmas music, whatever it is that you do. Everyone does something different, but I hope that's my hope, I suppose. Morning, Denise. Rhonda says, I did that, but I'll keep forgetting about them and don't not core for that reason. Sorry, Rhonda, I lost your, not exactly what that little typo there. At any rate, so I was moving on to family. Like you have those conversations with family, right? I think it's super important when it comes to family and food. I kind of are kind of connected here, but for you to have conversations with your family of like, hey, this is what we're doing, or this is what we would like to do, and I think setting time in advance, right? Like I think we did a good job of that this year with booking in advance instead of like last minute. Last minute stuff is extra stressful. So, and I'm not a huge planner myself. Fortunately, Dorothy is, but sometimes planning a bunch of things in advance actually stresses me out. I'm like, I don't want anything on my calendar. Like for us, we take coaching calls throughout the week. I have radio show interviews throughout the week. Like my calendar is often full. And I just, during the holidays or months, like certain months in the summer, I'm like, I don't want anything on my calendar, because I feel like sometimes my calendar runs my life. Anyone else feel like that? So at any rate, in this situation, I think it's important to set time with family in advance. Like this is going to be our Christmas, or this is going to be, this is what we're going to do. And you have that open conversation, because like I said, we've done the whole last minute thing, and it's not very enjoyable. It's like trying to, and we had a friend stop in here, and it was really nice. Like she stopped in with her daughter. We had a really nice conversation, and it was nice. It was really nice to have like a spur of the moment, but also like but that was it was after work hours. It was after night. It was in the evening a bit, and that was fine. Like I don't think we do that. We don't do that enough anymore. We grew up doing that. When we were kids, we would knock on the door of our friend's house. We didn't have phones. We didn't text. It was like, hey, do you want to go to the park and play? I think that spontaneity is nice. But I also think there's a time and place for it, because if you have your whole holiday season kind of booked up in advance, and then on top of that, you have like last minute things, I think it just makes it more stressful. So one of my opinion or my tip would be, make sure you have your month plan in advance. Like this is what you're going to do. Make sure, of course, the most important people in your life should be booked in, and you should know exactly when you're having dinner with them, when you're having Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, whatever that looks like for you, your Christmas parties. Like that should be like that set up, because then if something else comes along, like, hey, do you want to do this? Or do you want to go to that market? Or do you want to go away for the weekend? Whatever it is, you're like, well, actually I have this booked. So that's not going to work out this year, but let's try it next year. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. But that's another one when it comes to family in particular, is that just have the open conversation with your family. I think it's important to talk about food. We talk about that with our family, like what would you like to have, or what would you like us to prepare, what would you like us to bring. I think having that open conversation instead of just expectations, like, oh, so-and-so is going to cook, that's it, that's whatever it is. Like we usually try to bring a meal or a dish. I think that's super important. First of all, you feel like you're contributing, and then also for the other side to allow you to bring something, right? Because sometimes you try to bring something to friends or family, and no, you don't have to bring that, or no, I got everything covered. Like, let them contribute. They want to contribute. You don't want to show up empty-handed, and it also gives you another option. So maybe you have food prepared from someone else, or maybe could be a healthier option. It could be different spices. It just could be a different energy. You know, when you go to a potluck and you have a bunch of friends and family and everyone brings a nice dish, there's just a different energy in a potluck setting than it is when one person cooks a meal. And that's fine if you want to prepare your meal, or however you want to do it. You know what's nice for us is that we're not like, we kind of change things up from turkey, I guess you could say. So instead of the conventional turkey, every once in a while, like throughout the years, we'd have something different, which was nice because we're not like a huge turkey family, I guess. Or maybe we don't have a huge family that eats a lot of turkey meat. I don't know. But, and I don't have a problem with turkey. I enjoy it as much as, I enjoy it a couple of times a year, as much as the average person. But it was nice. We switched it up some years, and it wasn't turkey at all, which is fine. And I know we have like those solid traditions of the things that we do, and we wanted to hang on to them, which is fine. I just think having that conversation, because like you might have a conversation and no one really wants turkey, or you make mashed potatoes every year. This is a bad example because everyone eats mashed potatoes, right? Maybe it's like a veggie dish, or maybe it's sweet potatoes. Nobody wants sweet potatoes. Everyone wants white potatoes. So why are we making the sweet potatoes? Just so we have a healthy option on the table, right? So have that conversation with your family. I think it's super important. Back in the day, and maybe I feel like this is changing a bit, but it was just like one person made the meal every year, and that's it. That's what happened. And that's what you were having. Nothing really changed from year to year. So open your mindset a little bit and have that conversation about what it's like to change things up and have something different. I think that'd be important. What do you guys have? Let me know in the comments. What do you guys have? Good morning, Carrie. How was your beach vacay? I wasn't jealous at all. I did that, but kept forgetting about them, so now I buy closer to the season. Oh, I got it, Rhonda. So you were buying gifts, and then you'd forget about them? What did you do with them? They're like stuffed, excuse me, they're stuffed under your bed or in the closet somewhere, and then you pull them out. Like, hey, this was supposed to be a present for... Oh, boy. Anyone want to share what you had for, what your regular is for dinner? It's probably turkey, which is fine. So I guess I did food and family together. So I won't keep you guys too much longer. We did, so let me go back to food here. So having that conversation about food, I feel like it's important to let people know, like when you're trying to live healthier, some of you may be wanting to do that here in this group, and some of you may not be too worried about it. But if you want to make healthier choices, I feel like hiding that from your family members is probably the worst thing that you can do, because they feel like you're lying to them. They feel like you're trying to hide something from them. They're like, why aren't you eating my piece of pie, or why aren't you eating my cake? Like, because I've joined this program, I've invested in my health, and I've seen great results leading up to the holiday season, and I don't want to lose all that, right? Like, if you don't have that conversation, it's more hurtful or harmful to you. And then, of course, the other people in your life, they're like, oh, why don't they eat my food? Instead of just having a conversation and be like, hey, I'm not going to have I'm not going to have a piece of 3 different pies this year for Christmas dinner. Okay? Don't be offended. I'll have a little piece, half a piece, no whipped cream, right? Shelly says, my girls always help with the prepping. Awesome. So nice to have some help for sure. And Sandra says, traditional food we share in the preparation now. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's really important as well. Like getting people involved, having people help out. It's so much like it's financially, what's the word? It's just, it costs a lot. Like food isn't cheap these days. Our bill doubled, if not more. Our grocery bill. I think everyone's in the same boat. So, and then the time to prep, oh my gosh. I had a new appreciation once we got a little bit older and we started like, oh, hey, we're going to host turkey dinner, or we're going to host Thanksgiving, Easter, whatever it is. Like all the prep. I had such a more of appreciation for my mom or grandma or aunt when they would prep the day. Like it takes a day or longer. You got to buy groceries for 2 days. You buy a big haul, then you got to go back and figure out all the things that you missed. And that's stressful, right? And then you got to try to make everyone happy. Like, oh, what are they going to like? What are they going to eat? So you got to worry about that. And then, so one day is all the groceries. The next day is all the groceries that you forgot to make. And then one day forgot to buy. Then one day is like prepping for the meal. And then one day is making the meal. And then you eat the meal. It's like a week. So having people help out and join in on, I'm bringing this dish this year, I'm bringing that dish, is would be super beneficial. You know, time wise, financial, energy wise, because you have a flow of energy going back and forth, not just one way. So I think that's a great idea, Sandra. Sandra says huge appreciation for what my grandma would do year after year. Yeah, that's right. Mom, are you still watching? What was our tradition? It was like 13 dishes or something. I don't know. It was like, I think it had, I don't know if it had to do with, I don't know what that had to do with. Did it had to do with religion, or it had to do with where where your parents were from? But we had like so many dishes, and it was like, and like every year grandma would line them all the food up. And my mom still does a lot of that too, but it's like, oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine. Rhonda says, yep, then it was birthday presents. For food, we do different things too. Sometimes elk roast. Oh, interesting. Seafood. We've done seafood as well. Turkey occasionally, and we share as well. Awesome. Okay. The last thing I want to mention is try to keep going with your convention. I talked about the things that stress you out, and I'll just wrap things up here and to tell you to keep doing the things that you're doing or should be doing. Like, you should be exercising, right? You should be properly supplementing. You should be taking time for yourself, whether that's stretching, prayer, meditation. Like, you need that time for yourself as well. So those are 3 things that I would recommend is to continue to carry on doing. Like, exercise is the number one way to reduce stress. Why aren't we exercising during the holiday season? Don't disappear on yourself. I would say don't ghost on your coach. That's the thing in our program. Don't ghost on your community. When I talk about our MAP program to our members, some people will disappear, and they think we don't know that they're gone. Like, hey, when you don't show up for anything anymore, what do you think we think is happening? So, but you have to understand, like, that's on you. Like, don't disappear on yourself. A lot of people have been working hard throughout this fall to see great results, and then the holidays come and they slowly take a step back. It starts with 1 workout. Then it starts with 2 missed workouts. And then you eat a little bit of extra food and you do some extra snacking. And I think, like, you have to understand, like, one of the things that I'm most proud of over this gala that went very well for us, and we were so, like, we were stressed, and we were stressed and we were tired. It was long days. All we talked about was the gala for like at least a week. And one of the things I'm most proud of is we both got our workouts in. Dorothy was still up at 5 a.m. getting her workouts in. I was still up. I'm looking at my area. Dorothy's over here on the treadmill. I'm over here on more weight stuff. And I knew that was important. And you know what the thing is? We also did extra supported our immune system, because usually when we're emotionally worn down, we're physically worn down and our immune system gets hit. So we extra supplemented. We made sure we never missed a workout, and that helped reduce our stress. So we're gonna have I'll do another show on digestion here in the future, but don't just wear track pants. 12 dishes, my mom said. So we had 12 different dishes. My gosh, we may have 3 dishes on a regular basis, right? Could you imagine 12? Is that for like 12 days of Christmas? Sandra says, don't just wear track pants. I missed that. Why is that? Is that for extra space in your pants so you can eat more food? Oh, I lost my train of thought. I feel like I was on a roll there. So, I was just saying, like, making sure that your immune system is strong at this time of year, because you're going to be emotionally worn down, possibly financially worn down, traveling, staying up late. So usually that stuff hits afterwards, like after the gala. We're like, oh, look, in the past when we've been really like full on, stressed, running around crazy. The next day or the next week, it's like we're drained. So we did extra supplementation. We never missed supplements. We never missed workouts, and we're fine. A little bit tired the next couple days after the gala, pulling ourselves back together. We still haven't even wrapped up all the gifts, the prizes to give away, but we'll get there. So I think that's important to make sure you're supporting your immune system. Magnesium is one of the best ways to detox, which will reduce stress. You can look at activated charcoal. Everyone should be taking that during the holiday season. That should be your best friend because of the extra drinks, because of the extra food that you're not used to using. So you're taking your activated charcoal. If you're traveling, you're taking your greens because you may not be having extra greens like you usually do at family's house, right? So make sure you're properly supplementing and doing all the things that you should be doing to help you stay on track and keep your stress levels down. Oh, to hide the don't wear track pants to hide your expanding waist. That's right, Sandra. Okay, I'm gonna wrap things up here. What did I have? Did I have anything in particular? I have some books I'd like to give away for anyone that's interested. I got a bunch of books. Some are brand new. Well, most of them are brand new. But I want them to relate to our topic. And I don't particularly have one right now. Rhonda won a book. Rhonda, did you start reading that book yet? I got lots of stuff to give away, but we'll do that in the future, I think. At any rate, you know what we usually do is we usually do 12 days of Magmas. I wonder if we're going to do that this year. The last couple years, we did 12 days of Magmas. We gave one bottle of Liquid Mag away every day for 12 days. And you have to do something, like subscribe to our podcast or comment on this post or invite a friend. Do you guys want us to do that again this year? I think that's a fun way to get things going. We gave away, we're still recovering from product from the gala. We gave away a lot of product at the gala. So our shelves are a little bit empty, so we got to build them back up. We gave away 50 bottles of Liquid Mag. That's a lot. 50 bottles of Bath Flakes. At any rate, it's nice to give away stuff once in a while. Rhonda says, I did start, and one of my family members has the immune disorder. Thanks again. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad it helped. Okay, I'm going to wrap things up here. What do I have for you? I don't have anything. I hope that was helpful for you guys. You know, it would be nice if you knew someone that could benefit from this conversation. If you could tag someone in the comments, or if everyone watching could invite one person to this group. This is a private group. And you know what we're going to start doing is start removing people that never participate. Because those big numbers don't mean anything. Like before, I was like, let's have as many people as possible in the group. But I think if there's a bunch of people that never participate, then what are they doing in here? So I think we're going to start going through our lists and start removing people. That's from my personal page, from our business pages. So we'd rather have people in here that are engaged and appreciate our content than just having numbers in here. So at any rate, if you know anyone that could benefit, well, that's a tough one for me to find. You know anyone that could benefit from these groups or these conversations, could you invite them to this group? If everyone invites one person, then we could slowly grow our group and reach more people. I'd appreciate that. Thanks. Have a great day. You're welcome. And then Tracy says the pics from the gala look like a lot of fun. We had a blast. We had a blast at the gala. We actually opened up tickets for next year. We're like, do we really want to do it? And if you think about something too long, you'll talk yourself out of it. That's what I tell our people that are like interested in our MAT program. They're like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. And we still have people that have been thinking about it for months since they've been watching our stuff. The longer you think about something, the more you're going to talk yourself out of it. And then the less of a chance you're going to take action. So we were like, we know that ourselves. We know that from our clients. So we're like, let's just do it. So we already started selling tickets for the gala next year. So I think we have 8 sold. Not a ton, but I think it's pretty cool that people enjoyed it that much that they're signing up already. Where do I find the tickets? Well, we've only opened that up to the people that bought at the gala, because we gave them a really good deal if they signed up again, and we were going to stop that at 10. But I can send you Shelly bought a ticket. My mom bought a ticket for next year. Sandra bought it. I think Sandra bought a ticket for next year. So I can send you a special link, Rhonda, or anyone else that wants to grab a ticket. Early bird. Yeah, early bird. And anyway, it's a whole new world for us. The whole event organizing, it's such an interesting world. It really is. And there's a lot to it that I won't get into today, but I was away that weekend. Sorry to hear that, Rhonda. Thank you for the help. Oh, hey, Jennifer. I didn't know you were in here. You are welcome. Thank you for joining us. And thanks for letting us know that you were in here. Yeah, at any rate, so like organizing events, we've actually planned on doing some more events. We're going to do an event, another one, a smaller one, just for exclusively for our MAT people. Probably in a few months, we're going to plan that and schedule that, and then we've already started planning for our next year's gala, and then we're looking at doing. We're actually going to do maybe this is a teaser. I shouldn't say anything yet, but we have one of our vendors that does a lot of work with women's clothing, and they want to do what do you call that when you put the clothes on? Someone help me out. They put the clothes on. They walk down the thing. Why can't I think of it? They walk down the aisle. Someone help me out. Tracy says, have a great weekend, everyone. Melinda says, thanks for all the great tips this morning. You're welcome. Why can't I think of it? You guys know what I'm talking about? Fashion show. Oh my gosh. We had a really good connection with one of the vendors, and she wants to do. She's been bugging us to do a fashion show. Yes, thank you, Sandra. Close, Melinda modeling. Yes, thank you guys. I don't know if there's a delay there. We're going to do a fashion show here in the future as well, and I've heard that goes over quite well. And we've had some people ask if we would do a fashion show at the gala, and we said no because that was way more than I was willing to bite off. But at any rate, we're going to do a fashion show as well in the future. So we got lots coming up. But for the gala in particular, that will be our biggest one-year annual event. So if you want tickets for that, you should grab them because we're going to have a cap. And then we're going to change it. We're going to do things a little bit different. That we'll have different blocks of time. So right now, if you buy now, we'll give you a cheaper price. And as we get closer in blocks to the gala, the price will continue to go up until they're sold out. And I feel like we're going to sell out this next year. At any rate, I'm out of here. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining live. Have a wonderful weekend. And we'll catch you soon. Bye.